Okay, hello there my loves, it's that time again for a bit of a book haul. Today we've got a bit of a mixture, fantasy and science fiction. But anyway, we've got the bells going, you can hear them hopefully. We've got the satanic candle, the satanic mushrooms. We've got this rather unpleasant looking knife here, which I'll be using to open some of the books in a moment. And of course, we've got some Bishop's Finger Blast. Where's my... oh, there it is. Okay. Let's pop that out before we do anything more. Wonderful. Okay, bottoms up, chin chin and all that. Oh, good old dependable Bishop's Finger Blast. Okay, so right. I won't do much preamble. I'll just go straight into it. I'm just happy to be back here with you lot, looking at some old books and sniffing the shit out of them, if you will. Okay, so for the first one, okay, this is Julian May, The Golden Torc. Now, I actually had a copy of this book in a book haul, and I've since got rid of it because I thought, I don't think I'll ever read the damn thing. But when I was researching cover images for that spaceships that look like penises video, this was one of the images that I was going to use, just because it does look as though this magician's penis is a giant rainbow thing coming out of a cauldron and a young woman attempting to seize the damn thing. So as soon as I saw this, I thought, right, I need to have it. Where did I get it, I hear you ask? Well, it was when we were doing a little bit of a caravan weekend down near, where was it, near Dawlish? Otterton, round there. Not many people will know where that is, but anyway, South Devon. And they had this little shelf, mini shelves of books that you could kind of exchange. I imagine it was for the purposes of reading whilst you're in the caravan and then returning it, but I ended up stealing it, if you will. But I don't think anyone's ever going to want to read it. But I will one day, maybe. Now, I won't read the blurb and all that, but this is an American publication. The UK one didn't have this cover. In fact, it wasn't as good, so that's why I didn't keep the damn thing. But as far as I know, this is a kind of science fiction story whereby in the far future that humanity's escaping some kind of threat, and they've gone way back in time into prehistoric times, and they've started again, if you will. Anyway, quite a lovely image, I think you'll find. Now, I've already perused this in great detail back in the caravan, just because I do like dipping into these things. So this is 1982 original copyright, but this is from 1889, 9th printing, and the cover's by Michael Whelan. So you will know the work of Michael Whelan from The Dark Tower, or many, many different book covers he's done. Absolutely brilliant artist. I'll have to do a thing on him one day. And we've got some maps at the back there that reference the prehistoric world. So if we look at my own neck of the woods, we've got good old Great Britain here, which is called Albion. And it does look as though, yeah, positions have moved slightly. We're joined onto, I guess, France. Yeah, we've got Paris there. So, yeah. Dark times indeed when we were joined at the hip. I'm only joking. Right. Anyway, if you've read this book and you liked it, let me know. Anyway, check out that cover and see if that is referencing a giant dick. Michael Whelan, I don't think he's known for incorporating penises into his paintings, but you never know. Well, it's quite an easy start today, and you'll all be happy to know that this smells of wood. Of course it smells of wood. And a bit of sea breeze. Not really, it's just my imagination, but yeah, we were right by the sea. It was quite lovely there. me and Vanessa tried to swim, but the water was fucking freezing. Got as far as, I think, mid-calf, and then I jettisoned the idea. I don't think she got as far as that, actually. If it had gone any further, I would have been paralysed. Okay, the next, I'm going to flop the next books out in one bloody go. But I'll do a bit of a cover look at the cover at some point. Let's get this devilish thing out of the way. Look at this, my loves. Got the next 3 books of the First Law trilogy. So yeah, so it's a trilogy, I assume. So I've got an extra book from somewhere. But anyway, these were from, there's this really lovely bookshop called Book Cycle down near the quay. I think I showed it on my first scratch card video. It didn't really show it, but that was in the vicinity. It's like this old Tudor building. And it's a kind of charity shop whereby you go in there and you give whatever you want for the books. Open to abuse, I would say. But I think the woman ensconced behind beside the door kind of makes you feel guilty. I paid a fair price, I thought. 50p for the free. I didn't really. No, I paid £5 per book, so I paid £15 altogether. But I know the going rate on eBay is around £6, £7 maybe, if it's a good copy. But I also gave the shop a great big bag of books that I didn't want. So I thought that was fair enough, to be honest. All I know is that the very next book to read will be Before They Are Hanged. And I must say, I do quite like these covers. What do you think? I mean, these books are in lovely condition. It's hard to tell if they've been read. I assume there's a bit of concavity there. What about the other ones? Yeah, I think they've all been read. Yeah, but in wonderful condition. I've already gone through these. There's no hidden maps or banknotes or anything of the like, unfortunately. I would have given it straight back to the charity. But yeah, all tickety-boo. What I'll do, so I won't bother scanning these covers because I don't know if they warrant a full perusal. But I can't wait to start reading these. But I will sniff them, just briefly. Oh, yeah. It's got... it's still got that, fish and chip paper, parchment kind of smell. Because they're still relatively new, I would say. I didn't even look at the copyright. Look at this. Oh, absolute noob. 2009 for that one. The Last Argument of Kings. Best Served Cold. So I think that's the last book of the trilogy, isn't it? Or is it? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, Last Argument of Kings appears to be the third one. So the First Law trilogy. Did I say First Blade? So what about this one? 2010. Okay. I think these were probably all published at the same year. I probably misread the first one. Well, no, I'm completely wrong. So I stand corrected, said the man in the orthopedic shoes. This one's 2008. So whoever bequeathed these books to the charity shop, charity bookshop, really looked after their books. Sorry, I haven't been looking to see whether these are in frame or not, but you get the idea. I can't wait to get back into that adventure, so I'm going to be reading that soon, Before They Are Hanged. Down you go. Let's have a bit of finger up me. Ooh. Sends a shiver down my spine. Okay, and let's continue. So now we've got some mystery books. Well, they're not a mystery to me, of course, but they are to you. You can't even see. Don't look at my address. Oh, shit. I'll have to blank that out. I don't want any of you turning up on my doorstep with your wand out. That wouldn't do. Anyway, let's extricate the book from its wrapping. Right. Check this shit out. Light a Last Candle. So, I haven't talked about this much, Vincent King, but I recently read one of his books, Candyman. It was on the last book haul, I think. I liked it so much that I decided to buy another one of them. This one is Light a Last Candle. I think he only wrote about 4 novels, 4 or 5. But yeah, I think this is an underlooked author, personally. 25 pence in the UK, so late 70s, early 80s perhaps. Right, I'm going to read this blurb if you don't bloody mind. Right, the aliens had been on Earth for a long time now. After the defeat, after the modifications and all, there hadn't been much chance of anything. It was all dim in history now. The defeat was long ago. It was remote in time when man last stood upright, except for the few, I mean up on the tundra, out in the cold, guys like me who'll bend for no one, especially a dirty alien. In a world of mutations, the normal man is an outlaw, fighting for survival, pitting his wits and strength against the alien invaders to the point of ultimate defiance. Vincent King is a New English science fiction writer. Light a Last Candle is his first novel, jam-packed with ideas, exciting and thought-provoking to the very last page. This is the first novel, wonderful. Oh, I saw a page turned over then. Okay, not bad condition there. We've got a little bit of mottling. I don't mind that. Yes. Okay, copyright. Hello, I was well off. Look at that, 1970. So it says here. Originally published in the United States. So it was published over there before it was published over here. Now look at that, there's a page. So did someone only get that far? Only page 17? Maybe not. I think they've all been folded at some point, so I'll fold that bit over again. Naughty. Anything else going on inside here that we need to know about? No, it's all tickety-boo. Okay, got some other tandem science fiction books to be ordered there. Okay, lovely. Not bad condition for its age. Okay, peruse this cover. Tell me what you think. To my mind, instantly it reminds me of... do you remember, any of you into retro gaming, especially the Amiga, Psygnosis? I don't know, it suddenly reminds me of Psygnosis, like their logo. I know it's an owl on their logo, but yeah, I don't know why it reminds me of that. Don't know. Anyway, look at it. Look at that. Let's have a sniff. Well, I'll be darned. It's... For a book of this age, I'm quite surprised. Creamy wood! That's normally like it's early 90s, perhaps. Not normally of that vintage. But there we are. I would say about Vincent King. One of his novels, I think it's called Time, Snake and Super Clown. Very bonkers title, but by all accounts it's a very, very bonkers story. But it's very, very rare. So I was looking to buy a copy on eBay, and they tend to go for around 40 quid. I didn't realise that at the time that it was going for those kind of prices. Someone, obviously not knowing what they had, just had it on as a normal auction. It was going for 99p. This is before I realised its value, so I offered them £1 for it because I thought it's just the usual, usual pulp fare. Because they bumped up their postage to £3. It never cost £3 to send a book, so that would have been £4. But they didn't see my offer, so they didn't agree to it or decline it. And then some bastard wanted it for 99p because I thought, well, I don't want to bid for it after you've overlooked my offer, because I thought that would be a bit naughty for me to get it for 99p when I offered £1. So I forgot about it then. And someone else won it for 99p, so they got an absolute bargain. But yeah, I'm going to try and hunt that one down. Keep your eyes peeled, everyone. But don't buy it if it's going cheap, because I want it. Joke. Well, not really. But yeah, that sounds like it could be an interesting read. Right, now I'm going to be careful this time and not show you my address. How should I do that? Should I burn it off with the satanic candle? It's tempting. I'll tell you what, I'll just cut it off. I'll cut the top off. I mean, I trust most of you, but I know there's some renegades out there that can't be trusted. Okay, I'll do a competition if you want to win my address. I'm sure it's easy to find out, actually, but there we are. Right. Let's bring this into view, for Christ's sake. What am I doing? Let's get the finger blast out of the way. Well, someone's wrapped this up very nicely. In bog roll. No, well, it's stained. I don't know what the hell this... I mean, it's that kind of packing paper, isn't it? Cheap crap. Well, that's all you need, isn't it? Oh my God, it's coming away like it's been fossilized. Ugh. I might sniff that paper in a minute. I'm going to give it a tentative sniff. Wait a minute. Sniff on the stain. It smells quite nice. Incense. Right, okay, let's take this condom off it. Okay, so look, we've got Dan Simmons. So, back along, was on the last book haul actually. Their handle on YouTube is Saint Elmer, I believe. So they recommended Dan Simmons. Not Hyperion, which is what a lot of people recommend, but I think it's this one, yeah. Carrion Comfort. So I think I was talking about vampires, vampire fiction. And he says this is an absolute beast. And look at the cover. Isn't that... Ooh, scary. You can barely see this figure, but you know they're up to no good. Now, I would say these are new copies. I mean, I know there's a slight concavity to the spine there, but I think after reading it would resemble a capital D or a U even. But yeah, we've got a bit of yellowing there on the pages. So, have any of you read Carrion Comfort? I mean, I've been meaning to read Hyperion, but I haven't got around to it. Apologies. Right, I'll read the blurb, if you don't mind, because I don't know anything about it other than the fact that it's about a vampire. The past. Caught behind the lines of Hitler's final solution, Saul Lasky is one of the multitudes destined to die in the notorious Chelmno extermination camp, but he will soon fall into the clutches of an evil far older and greater than the Nazis themselves. Vampires. The present. A rare few individuals have the ability, the psychic power to influence the minds of others. Each year they meet to discuss their ongoing campaign of debauchery and slaughter. Well, this is my kind of book. But this year, things are not going according to plan. The story that follows spans decades and continents and penetrates the darkest recesses of the 20th century, as well as ranking among the greatest reinventions of the vampire legend. Carrion Comfort explores humanity's attraction to violence and what it means for our future. Okay, there's a endorsement there by Del Toro. That's encouraging. So, right, this copy is 2010. And it's quite a beast, isn't it? Acknowledgements. Dean Koontz. I don't like his writing. Just saying. Yeah, it's a giant whopper of a book, isn't it? There's a bit of a scrape down there, but nothing to worry about. There's no vampire artifacts that have been left in here, but someone has put the page down, so I think they made it that far. Interesting. Do you want to look at this cover? I'll say Sniff. I mean, there's not much to look at, really. Oh, this is a new one. Ah, yep. We've come across this before. It's an old gentleman's... it's not an old gentleman's nutsack. It's an old gentleman's aftershave. It's quite nice. It's not a modern scent, but I don't know if it's Brute. No, I don't know. So I got this book in a job lot. It came with 2 other books. I've got no idea what these books are about. But we've got Flashback. Thrilling with a grand, compelling mystery at its centre. Again, look at this. This spine is immaculation. Immaculation. That's not a word. America, 2036, a wasteland in ruin. Terrorism and ultra-violence plague a once powerful society whose only escape is to numb itself on flashback, a euphoric yet cripplingly addictive regression drug. Ex-cop and addict Nick Bottom has seen Flashback take his badge, his reputation, and the love of his son. Alone in despair, he has hit rock bottom. Okay. But Nick is about to receive a proposition. Billionaire magnate Hiroshi Nakamura needs his services, and in particular, his memories. Well, that's wonderful. That does sound quite intriguing. And it also reminds me of one of my favourite games on the Amiga, Flashback. Which is a completely different story, but there we are. 2011. So look at this modern fare. We've got some kind of yellow ectoplasmic imprint on some of these pages here. I do hope it's not the vestiges of someone's ejaculate, but it seems to be on every fucking page here. What's going on? It's like a blight. Can you see that? I don't know whether I want to sniff this. I'm trying to be a bit more careful sniff wise. I'll do a distant sniff. Quite a nice cover there. Oh, hello there. This is a different one again. Yeah, anthrax. No. It's a warm coach seat. So like a National Express journey up to, say, Bristol. A hot day. Warming that awful covering that they have on the so it smells probably of with a bit of fecal matter, obviously. But yeah, not wood though. Okay, last but not least, one would hope, another Dan Simmons. I'm in awe of Dan Simmons, Stephen King. It's a bit like one of the throwaway ones he gives Clive Barker, isn't it? The future of horror and all that. Black Hills. Okay, look at this. Someone naughty has been bending the cover back. Okay, I'm going to read this as well. Prepare yourselves for an absolute shite reading. I can't read aloud, it seems. Okay. Pahasapa, Black Hills, is an American Indian shaman who believes that as a young boy at the Battle of Little Bighorn, he took the ghost of the dying General Custer into his body. I don't know much about that part of American history. Probably won't need to, I suppose. 60 years later, while working as a dynamiter on Mount Rushmore, Pahasapa plots to blow up the monument. Meanwhile, Custer finds himself trapped in a strange, dark place, begins to write sensuous, heartbreaking missives to his beloved wife. Excuse me. I was possessed then slightly. Thus begins an intricate visionary story that sweeps across some of the most tumultuous and violent periods of American history, from the Old West to the Dust Bowl of the 1930s and into our own time and beyond. Okay. Doesn't tickle my pickle as much as the previous two, but if you've read this one and you think it's worth a gander, please let me know. Okay, again, 2010. This one suffers there's a slight yellowing to the pages, but I'm not getting any whiff of nicotine. And there's no bloody banknotes. Anyway, look at that cover if you want. There's not much to see. It's a bit pared back. Anyway, so get in there. Okay, this is this is the same as the first one. So an old gentleman's nutsack slathered in cologne of some kind. Yeah, I don't know about the nutsack bit, but I think that's the foreign object that was swathed around the books. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm just hoping I don't get a collapsed lung later. Anyway, that's all, I'm afraid. There was only 8 of them today, and I didn't do as in-depth a perusal as I would normally do, just because, well, they're not old, are they? I like to get right in up to the head, up to the shoulders even, in those old books, just to see what they're all about and see if there's any treasure. But these modern ones, they're quite barren, aren't they? But some promising reads there, I would say. Let me know, of all of those, what you would like me to try first. The vampire one looks intimidating just because it's a fucking massive book, but yeah, it sounds like it's a beauty. Anyway, let's leave it there. Thank you very much again for joining me for this quite small book haul, and I'll be back again with another one in a few weeks, hopefully. I'm still gathering some books for that Michael Moorcock one. And I keep having to pull myself back from buying some other random vintage science fiction, but I'm spending way too much at the moment. But there we are. I'll be on next time when I'll have splurged out on a copy of that Time Snake one, but hopefully not. Anyway, cheers. See you later. Cheerio.